I'm Duncan Riak, and this is How to Be Loved by a Woman. I'm going to talk about anger, when a woman's angry, and the importance of validating her anger. So most women in our society grew up as little girls completely unable to express their anger. In fact, most people don't really get a chance to express their anger, but women and girls in particular have it really suppressed and really invalidated. And women also in our society really experience an enormous amount of suffering, suppression, a lot of violation, a lot of abuse. Many women experience sexual violation as children and even as adults. I mean, basically women from the time that they're from their children until and throughout their adulthood are basically sexually violated continuously. And you know, our society says that women shouldn't be angry, basically. You know, it's like, don't get angry, you know, and so, you know, we judge women who are expressing anger as being, you know, just out of control, and we just judge them in a negative way, whereas when men are expressing anger, we see them as powerful. So the thing with women's anger, with your woman's anger, is to be strong enough to provide a container, right? So you provide a container for it. And that doesn't mean you contain it. It means you provide a space in which her anger can be expressed. So a lot of women, what they'll do is they'll turn the anger in on themselves, and they'll be depressed, they'll self-harm, they'll self-attack, they'll take all of that energy that's in that anger, and instead of using it to thrive and succeed in life, they'll use it to kind of harm themselves and shut themselves away and shame themselves and shame their own anger and shame all of their energy. So you provide this safe container for it, and then notice that whenever, like I said before in boundaries, whenever you experience any kind of unpleasant sensation when you're interacting with her, what it means is that she is triggered, and when she's triggered, she's probably feeling some anger. So what you can do is don't take it personally, and go in and start to support her in expressing that anger. Like, for example, you could wrestle with her, or you could show some anger with your face and say, I want to see that anger, I want to see this anger, you know, and let it come out. And often it's an amazing thing to see a woman express her anger, like to see the aggression that's in there and see it being released, and see it with all of that energy that's there, that's been held back and suppressed. And you know, like always, when people are angry, until they get really good ability to channel and validate their own anger, they're going to be a bit messy with it, right? So it's been all this time of not actually expressing anger, and it's going to come out in ways that are kind of violent, right? So you're strong and capable, you have a really strong body, you have a strong mind, you have a strong sense of self, which you've been developing through all the other videos. And so you can actually contain that and not take it personally. When she says things that are hurtful, you're like, you know, this isn't about you. This is kind of flailing around. It's like a little kid, like a little toddler, like banging their feet and waving their arms and saying, I hate you and fuck you and all this, right? It's not about you. So you can contain it and provide a space for that to be expressed, and then be able to validate it and say, it's really good to see you expressing this and showing how angry you are, okay? Years and years, a whole lifetime of being subjugated, you know, and being abused and violated, and not being able to do anything about it. So it's all coming out. And by providing that container, you can allow her life energy to be more and more freed, and she can become more and more empowered, and your relationship can become much richer and deeper. And with time, she can learn to channel that aggression, and also to catch violations earlier and earlier, so that she has less and less anger and feeling of being violated, because she's not being violated. She's able to speak up for herself and protect herself. And you're modeling her validation of her anger, so she's able to validate her own anger. She's able to validate her own feelings of violation and be able to actually express that much sooner and protect herself much better. And so this is really important for a thing to provide in your relationship with a woman. It's a very, very important thing. And I'll come on to this kind of container you provide for energy is the same kind of container you provide for sexual energy. You provide a strong container so that her juicy feminine, I know people hate that and I think it's ridiculous too, but that feminine can it's a very similar kind of thing, can be released and can increase your sex life. And also for yourself, I'm going to talk about in another video about how to provide validation and containment, not containing, but validation and a space in which you can express and experience and channel and learn to be empowered by your own anger. And that's another video I'll come to later. So I hope this video has been helpful, and I hope you're enjoying the series, and I'll see you in the next video.